Corey, you and I are jumping into a Zelda Light title. Corey, you and I jumped into our Switch this week as we got to check out Oceanhorn 2, Knights of the Lost Realm. To us, this came awfully pretty quick as a Zelda Light title. You can tell that Corn Fox and Bros are a big fan of Zelda and wanted to make their own version, I guess, of a Zelda-esque spin-off of a game. What did you think of Oceanhorn 2?
Well, yeah, so I kind of did a little bit of reading up before we started playing the game, and I kind of got the vibe that Zelda and Breath of the Wild, this is definitely kind of a play on that game. It's based heavily off the same type of gameplay. Yep. It has kind of the same look. By the way, the art style in this game I think looks great, whether you're playing on the big screen or in handheld. Sure. I thought they did a really good job here. But again, like you said, this is very Zelda-like. There's a lot of, we're breaking pots like crazy in this one too, right? We're looking for gems and loot and all that kind of stuff. And it's very nostalgic. It makes me feel like I'm playing Ocarina of Time, like I'm playing a classic Zelda-style game. For sure. The story here isn't crazy deep. It's kind of that basic. We've got a bad guy building an army, trying to take over the world. Our job is to basically destroy him and save the world. Yep. And we have some friends along the way here, which I kind of thought was an interesting touch when you're playing through the campaign of this game.
For sure.
And we get these characters like Jen, and they help us solve these puzzles that we had come across during our adventures. And sometimes it's very simple, stand on this switch while I stand on this switch, and stuff like that. But I found them outside of where you need them in the puzzles to not be very handy. Like, this is kind of my first interaction where I kind of had a little bit of like, what's going on here during this game? Because early on you start to learn about these puzzles and you kind of have to implement these characters to help you. And I kind of noticed that they weren't as responsive as I wanted to. What did you think?
Yeah, I kind of had a mixed reaction, to be honest. Parts of me loved playing the game. I thought it was relaxing, it was chill, but the story wasn't there enough to kind of keep me captivated, to push me forward into the game, right? So when you don't have such a strong story, and it seemed to be as a relatively story-focused adventure, it's hard to keep that going, that momentum. And then you introduce, like you said, other side characters that join your party. And I thought it was really cool that you could control them. You tell them, okay, I need your help, so you got to go over here. But yeah, besides those puzzles, what else did they really do? A little bit of combat here or there, but it wasn't that satisfying. I thought the combat overall for yourself was good. The fact, though, that Corey, there's just no jump button, dude, was a real.
I know,
that's
it
a
was
real
killer
struggle, right? There's an automatic jump, so you'll go to one ledge and it'll jump for you, and you're just like, but I want to hit that jump button, right?
Yeah.
There's a tactile feel to that when you're playing on a controller. Now, this was over on the Apple Arcade, and I did play it there as well, and I thought that was a great fit over on that platform. And I could see maybe why they didn't have the jump button implemented over on that one, but when you brought it to the Switch, it would have been a nice feature to add in. But going ahead with the story, everybody is voiced over but your character. So, again, that is just, it's one of those, that Zelda-esque thing to me, and it was just, oh man, bring some life to the character instead of just having them sit there and go.
They're just naughty hero,
right? The voiceovers I thought were done well, but again, the lack of our own character having that voice and interaction was just a little lackluster for me. And overall, like, I thought the game was good. It's a solid, that Zelda Light experience if you're looking for that on the Switch, and I played it all in handheld. I thought it was really well done on the handheld version of the game. I liked it, just being able to kind of chill out on the couch. Somebody else is on the big screen and I have it in handheld. I think that's one of the highlights when it comes to the Switch itself, is the ability to do that. And then you're allowed to just go wherever you please with that game. And I think it's a good version. I think it's a solid game. And I did have a fun time, but man, I really miss the fact that our character just doesn't speak at all.
Oh, I know. And you know what? I'm just going to say the one big hang up for me was the control scheme here. Outside of the no jump button, it was a little bit tough to get used to, but once you kind of sorted it, it's not so bad. But yeah, it's
Right.
definitely kind of an omission we wish we had in this game. But for me, it was the targeting. So when you
Yeah.
have a shield, you can kind of auto target a character, but you can only do it when you have the shield out. As soon as you pull your sword out, it gets rid of the auto lock. And now I found myself like running around, looking
Flailing.
around with the camera, yeah, flailing
Yeah.
every once in a while because it's kind of this weird control scheme. And I don't know if, because to me, like you said, it played well on the Apple Arcade. I'm wondering if this is more a mobile based game than, bringing it to something where you've got, physical sticks and buttons you can press. Maybe it just flows a little better on Apple Arcade than it did on the Switch. So the controls to me were, they were simple, but they just weren't the best here. And that kind of really hindered my experience with this one.
Oh, that's fair. Corey, I think that just wraps everything up for us for Oceanhorn 2, Knights of the Lost Realm. What do you score in this one?
Well, I mean, I know we were kind of ragging on a little bit here, but you know what? This game kind of is a Zelda emulator a little bit, and they do a good job. It's definitely a lot of fun. The story is there. The characters are voiced over really well, other than the main character, which is kind of a bummer. But you know what? This game definitely is fun. It's only $30, so it is a really good kind of cheap alternative to the still full price $80 Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
So you know what? For me, this game kind of just makes it past halfway. I'm gonna give it a 5.5.
I'm a little bit higher than you, not by much though. I think the game justifies what it does and what it is. And for me, with that, I'm there with the 6.
Nice.
Oceanhorn 2 is a great attempt at a Zelda-style adventure with lots of great gameplay elements, but the weak story and subpar controls make this one hard to stick with.